Hey, Shalom Israel. Yeah, how about Shem Yahshua Thumb to the brothers. Shalom Yahushua Allah Thun by Shem Yahshua to the sisters. We got an ISUPK started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And since 1969, we've been teaching so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans their true identity according to the Bible. What is that identity? That identity is that so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans make up the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel, aka the greatest people on the face of the earth. You understand me? And in 2023, there's nothing more important than so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans learning their true identity according to the Bible. You see what I'm saying? Give me 1 second. Let me bring the brother on. Hey, Shalom, Shabbat.
Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua.
What's going on with you, man? How's everything?
I'm Tawab. How are you, sir?
Ain't no thing, man. Get ready to kick this thing off. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you joining the stream, man. Appreciate you.
Khan, no sweat, sir.
All right, for sure. So back to the intro. Again, in 2023, man, there's nothing more important than so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans learning their true identity according to the Bible. Okay, with that identity, you know what I'm saying, we wake up as a nation. And as we wake up as a nation, you know what I'm saying, we gather together. And once we gather together, you know what I mean, we destroy all the strongholds. You know what I mean? We'll bring down this wicked empire under the authority of the Most High in Christ. As we come together as a nation, you get what I'm saying? As we come together as a nation, you know what I'm saying? And we come together as one under these law, statutes, and commandments that was given to us by the Most High. We Lord allow, we will provoke the Most High to send his son and those 200,000 angels, as the Bible describes them, back, you know what I'm saying, in order for us to get our rightful place on the earth, you know what I'm saying, which is rulership on the earth. You get my point? And I know it's hard to see that right now because of the, you know, all the wickedness and evil and all these nations that are beneath us and can't hold a torch to us, you get what I'm saying, being on top of us. You get my point? But in reality, we are the greatest people on the face of the earth. You get what I'm saying? And the only reason why we're not in that position right now, you know what I'm saying, is because we continue to sin against the Most High. And a lot of us are sinning against the Most High because of our lack of knowledge according to this Bible. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why there's a lack of knowledge is because us continuously filling up the Christian church. You get what I'm saying? Once you learn the truth according to the Bible, you know what I'm saying, you'll flee that Christian church and their doctrine and everything else that comes along with that. You get what I'm saying? And once we come back to these law, statutes, and commandments, man, we can destroy all these strongholds. You get what I'm saying? And so that's why these classes are so important. You know what I mean? Priest and Officer Shabal coming to you live from Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have classes in the Las Vegas area. Tuesdays, the Brotherhood class. Wednesdays, the the biblical law class. You know what I'm saying? And Thursday is the scripture breakdown class. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Shalom.
Hey, Shalom.
What's going on, Commodore? Most High Christ. Water for joining, man. And again, you know, as we tear down these strongholds, man, we come into the truth according to the Bible. You know what I mean? We'll no longer be what the world looks at us and sees us as the scum of the earth. We'll no longer be second fiddle to these heathens that are not even worthy to lace our shoes. You get what I'm saying? And so that's what these classes are all about. You know what I mean? Hey, Shalom, Officer Matabar, Yabashem Shabbat. That's what these classes are all about, man. So if you could like, share, and subscribe, you know what I'm saying, to anything coming out of ISUPK, you know what I'm saying? Officer Matabar is out there in Louisiana doing a hell of a job out there raising up the dead. You get my point. Support that brother and his crew out there as they continue to drop the truth. You know what I mean? Again, you can find us on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas. You can find us on YouTube, ISUPK Nevada. And you can also find us on TikTok, ISUPK Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Holding it down once again for Precinct Captain Gadar. You know what I'm saying? Excellent brother. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the opportunity every chance I get to hold down this class on behalf of Southern California. You know what I'm saying? Doing a multi-stream with Vegas as well. You know what I'm saying? I got Precinct Officer Commandant in the building. You know what I'm saying? Also joining me is young man Jaime. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get it in a minute. If anyone has any questions, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and type them in. Excuse me. You can find us ISUPK Los Angeles on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas on Facebook, Hollywood Israelites on YouTube, and ISUPK Nevada on YouTube as well. All right. So again, if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. Lord allow, I'll be able to answer your question tonight. If I'm not able to get your question answered tonight, you know what I'm saying, I will, Lord allow, I'll have it, have your breakdown by next week's class. All right. The topic for tonight's class is what is love according to the Bible? You know what I mean? That'll be the topic. You know what I'm saying? Once we get through the questions and a couple of videos that I have for you, brothers and sisters. Again, if you could just like, share, subscribe, and let everybody know that we live. You know what I mean? Not just Vegas. You know what I'm saying? But Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? Captain Sakawa out there in Memphis doing a hell of a job. You know what I'm saying? Captain Mashak out there in D.C. You know what I mean? You got headquarters, of course, with Captain Tazariak. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Brothers is putting in a lot of effort and work, and you know what I'm saying, and putting these classes together. You get what I'm saying? And we do this, you know what I'm saying, not for glory, not for a pat on the back or attaboy, none of that. We do this because our job is to wake up the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You know what I mean? And Lord allow, you know what I'm saying, with these classes, you know what I'm saying, we could bring brothers and sisters out of the hellish conditions that they're in, you know what I'm saying, and bring those brothers and sisters into the truth. All right. So I'm gonna give y'all a couple of seconds. You know what I'm saying? If there aren't any questions, I got a couple videos, man, that I want to play for y'all. Anybody that's used to my classes, y'all know I come with a couple videos. You know what I'm saying? A couple of stories. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a mini version of Black Watch. You know what I'm saying? Before we get into the actual, you know what I'm saying, breakdown for the night. But the reason why we go into these stories, right, is because CNN won't show you this. You get what I'm saying? Fox News won't show you this. You get my point? And so this is why we bring these out, because the thing is that without the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana, there's a whole bunch of stuff that we actually would not even know about. You get what I'm saying? And so this is why we do this. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give you a couple more seconds. And if there's no questions, you know what I'm saying, I'll get into these videos, right? And then even if there's some questions, ain't no thing, you know what I'm saying, play the video, then boom. Or I can, you know what I'm saying, while the video's on, I can answer, after the video, answer the questions, and then boom, get back to the videos. You know what I'm saying? Then boom, ain't no thing. All right. So with that, let me see. All right, the first thing I want to give for y'all is, and again, you can type the question at any time. All right. Let me see. Where I want to go first. Y'all got to check this out, man. This one right here is a rough one right here to deal with. You know what I mean? Here it is right here. Oh, man, it's a tough one. Let me see. I'm just waiting on it to load up. All right. So it reads, the headline reads trigger warning. All right. Reads trigger warning. And I'm going to show y'all this after I read this out loud. All right. Y'all got to check this out, man. Trigger warning. Grand jury refused to indict officers for the lynching of Jalen Walker. All right. In case y'all didn't hear me, you know what I'm saying? Look, you can see it for yourself. Trigger warning. Grand jury refused to indict officers for the lynching of Jalen Walker. All right. So now, for those that want to know why it is that we continue to call the white man, or the so-called white man, or the oppressor, the devil that the Bible speaks of, is because of examples like this. You know what I'm saying? If you want to know why we have such a hatred for the oppressor, is because of crimes like this. You get what I'm saying? But most importantly, it's biblical. You get what I'm saying? It's actually biblical. You know what I'm saying? Romans 9:13. You know what I'm saying? For Jacob have I loved, with Esau have I hated. You know what I'm saying? King David said that he hates him with a perfect hatred. I'm paraphrasing. I believe that's Psalms 139 and 21, I believe it is. Don't quote me on that, but I can pull it if you need it. You know what I'm saying? But y'all get the point. And it's because of things just like this, all right? Let me see. Okay, so it says grand jury refused to indict officers for the lynching of Jalen Walker. It goes on to say justice for Jalen Walker, shot at 90 plus times. Yes, y'all heard me right. 90 plus times he was shot at. Now, how dangerous of a cat must he have been to get shot at 90 times?
God.
Anybody know how many times Dylan Storm Ruth got shot at when he shot up that church? Anybody want to take a guess? Commandant, you remember?
Yeah, Con, sir. He got shot not once. He got taken to a fast food restaurant.
Okay. What young man, you got something?
Con, not on con, sir. 0 times. He got
Zero.
the VIP treatment.
VIP treatment. That's a way to look at it, unfortunately, but that's what it is, right? What about the cat that shot up the grocery store in Buffalo? How many times he get shot at? Anybody want to take a guess? How many times did that cat get shot at? That shot up that grocery store in Buffalo. Commandant?
Oh yeah, Con, sir. He didn't get shot once.
He didn't get shot at once, huh?
Con.
You see what I'm saying? Meanwhile, this brother gets shot at 90 plus times. And so what this it shows you several things. For one, for those who insist on trying to get us to join hand in hand with the oppressor is always letting you know he doesn't want your stinking hand.
Right.
He don't even want to look at you, let alone touch you. You get what I'm saying? The only way he's going to touch you is if he's giving you a pat on the back for making him richer. He's not going to.
Are we in the Matrix? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I don't know if Salaki, sir, Officer Shabal, you went out, sir. I think he's having internet issues. Salaki. Can you hear me, Jaime?
Con, I can hear you, but I don't hear anything from
Yeah, bear with me. I'm
Con.
having some issues with the internet.
No, sir. I just want
You
to
up and
make sure.
running now?
Salaki, sir.
We good to go now?
Salaki, sir.
We good to go now?
Yeah, Con. You sound Tawab, sir.
Okay.
Con. I can hear you.
All right, cool. All right, so let's get it right. So it says shot at 90 plus times. Trigger warning, crime scene photos included. So I'm gonna show y'all this. Okay, so it says sensitive content, right? So now I believe there's a video involved with this as well. Y'all bear with me, all right? Because I don't have an Instagram, so it's only gonna show me so much. So Lord allow, I'll be able to act. Wow, you know what? I'll just show y'all. That's what they think about that brother. You get what I'm saying? And I'm gonna leave this up here for a second because I want y'all to. I really want y'all to see. You know what I'm saying? What the oppressor thinks about you and how he feels about you. And I want y'all to understand that something like this would never happen to a heathen. what I'm saying? Let me get some more. Hold on. This the brother right here. His brother was shot at 90 plus times. You know what I'm saying? 90 plus times. All right. This is what he looked like. Young brother. All right. It says Jalen Walker, an unarmed black man in America, was shot at 90 plus times by the police, struck a total of 46 times. Leaving a minimum of 90. Man, y'all bear with me, man. This is hard to read. I'm reading this for the first time with as y'all listening. So y'all bear with me. It says Jalen Walker, an unarmed black man in America, was shot at 90 plus times by the police, struck a total of 46 times, leaving a minimum of 92 bullet holes in this black man's body. You would think that this would warrant some form of accountability in America. If he's black, it's a clean kill. We will not stop fighting until Jalen Walker gets justice. The story goes on to read, America has declared open season on black people in America since its very beginning. We cannot be surprised when Slave Patrol does its job effectively and is not held accountable for doing their job, but must take action to stop them from doing so. The only people that can tolerate the form of brutality we have experienced for centuries are a people who do not know who they are. And the only people that can survive such brutality are a string of and powerful people, or strong and powerful people. If our identity itself were not a threat, they would have no reason to seek to destroy us. I'm not sure who wrote this article. I'm not sure who wrote this article, but whoever wrote this article needs a flyer, right, Commandant? Because what this individual said is 1000% correct. And it goes back to the beginning of the class when I was saying this is why it's so important for us to come back to our identity, because we come back to our identity and we keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? The Most High will put a hedge of protection around us that will keep stuff like this from happening. And far too often, these things are happening to our people, and it gets swept under the rug like it's no big deal. You know what I mean? Not only did they shoot and murder this man, but they were all found not guilty. You see what I'm saying? It's just another issue. It's just another example of them hating us and showing the type of hatred, that only Esau can show. You see what I'm saying? That right there is just next level wickedness. I just, y'all bear with me, man. Like I said, I was reading that along with y'all, and it hit me. It hit me hard, and that one hurt, man. That one hurt a lot. But again, this is why we must come back to the Lord. You see what I'm saying? We must come back to the Lord. We must keep these law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? We must serve our power so that we can bring these heathens to justice, man. You get what I'm saying? That's the only way that we're going to get justice in this wicked empire. You know what I'm saying? Commandant, did you want to add something to that?
I have a precept for you, sir.
Please.
Zechariah 11:5.
That's exactly where I was going. Give it to me.
Come on, sir. The book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and
whose
hold
possessors
themselves.
do what?
Slay them.
Do what?
Slay them.
Join hand in hand with them.
Slay them.
Love them.
Slay them.
And
hold themselves not guilty.
And hold themselves not guilty. Right? Now you got to know that this is a jury of their peers. You got to know this. You get what I'm saying? And again, we get looked at as a hate group because we teach from this Bible and we teach about how the Most High hates these other nations. But in the midst of us teaching about the hatred that we have for these other nations, in the midst of us talking about our hatred for these other nations, it never has nothing to do with hair texture, skin color, or any of those things. It has everything to do with the crimes that they've committed and the crimes that they're committing against the Lord's chosen people, right?
Right.
Not only that, right? But understand this, in the midst of the things that we say coming out of this Bible, never in the midst of that have we ever taught or advocated or try to pump nobody up to go out there and do anything to an oppressor. Why?
Right.
Because that goes against everything that we stand for. You get what I'm saying? Our hatred is way different than their hatred.
That's right.
You understand? Our hatred equals separation. Their hatred equals murder or a long prison sentence. You know what I'm saying? Or both. You can go to prison and end up getting murdered in prison. You get my point? And that's the thought process of this slave master, this colonizer, this oppressor, any word that you want to use. You get what I'm saying? This right here is what you call perpetual hatred. And so going back to the beginning of the class, if we come back to these law, statutes, and commandments, that perfect hatred that the oppressor have shown to us will be flipped on his head. And we will get justice for the crime that they've committed and the crime that they're committing against the Lord's chosen people. You get what I'm saying? Coming out, you want to add something else?
I have another precept too, sir. Salagi.
Please. Get down, please.
Sir, you know how you were talking about, sir. You know what I mean, and that's the reason why we must separate from this from the oppressor. You know what I mean, because they're gonna have a continued perpetual hatred. You know what I mean, towards us. You know what I'm saying, and how you were saying, sir, like, you know, joining hand in hand. You know, they're only gonna love you when you making them prosper.
Right.
You know what I mean? Once they start to see you making your people prosper, you know, they're gonna start bringing more death towards, you know, communities and you know and all that, sir. But I have a precept, sir. You know, what's the reason why we shame them? You know what I mean? The book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and 10.
Shoot it.
Come on, sir. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
For thy love.
Violence against thy brother Jacob. Shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
And this is what happens when we come back to the Lord. They'll be cut off forever. They'll be nothing more than a distant memory. They're going to have to serve out their punishment first. They're going to have to cut grass. They're going to have to clean windows. They're going to have to build these skyscrapers. They're going to have to drive these trash trucks. They're going to have to do these things. You get my point? I don't know about y'all. I don't want none of them cooking for me. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's a sister watching over there, making sure that they season that shit. And then making sure that they cook that meat and don't leave that shit medium goddamn rare. You understand me? Like, I don't want them in my kitchen. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want them in y'all kitchen, y'all do y'all thing. But as for me, I'm good. You get what I'm saying? But y'all get the point, though. You know what I'm saying? Trust and believe. Listen, let me tell y'all something real quick, right? Check this out, right? For those that might be growing a little weak in the faith, for those who are, you know, have been going through things since they came into the truth, you know what I mean? For those who thought once they came to serve the Lord that everything was going to be easy, everything was going to be smooth, and things are starting to get rough, and those that are starting to waver, right? Put this in your chest, man. Put this in your inward parts, right? That justice for that perpetual hatred is why we keep these law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
Brothers get off their slaveries and rush home and take showers and rush to the school to teach these classes because we want justice. You see what I'm saying? We do these things because we're tired of being on the bottom. We're tired of being an afterthought. You get what I'm saying? We want to be where we're supposed to be, which is on top and ruling over these other nations. You get what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, if you growing weak in the faith, gird up your loins like the scriptures say. You get what I'm saying? And the reason why that's so important is because as you gird up your loins and you hold on to that faith and you hold on to this truth, everything that you see that's happening to our people will stop happening just like that. I've said this once and I'll say it again. We're not waiting on Christ. Christ is waiting on us. You understand what I'm saying? The only way to stop these brutal murders, the only way to stop this perpetual hatred, the only way for us to stop getting up and leaving the house when it's dark and coming home when it's dark, the only way to come from up under that is by keeping these law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? Nobody said it was going to be easy. You get my point? But it's worth it. These little things that you're going through right now cannot compare to the thing that you're going through in the world. A lot of y'all don't even realize how much money y'all save by not celebrating Easter. Because I think that was the most recent so-called holiday that just passed. And a lot of y'all don't realize how much money that y'all gonna save not celebrating the 4th of July or more Memorial Day or Labor Day or any of these other holidays that the so-called white man has given us. You get what I'm saying? You're telling me that you would much rather see Jalen Walker's murderers walk free so that you can get high? Is that what you're telling me? You're telling me that smoking a goddamn blunt is more important than seeing justice for your fallen brother? But let me guess, because of Christianity, you don't give a damn about that man. You don't care about him. That wasn't your cousin. That wasn't your uncle. You didn't know that nigga. He got what he deserved. That's the Christian mindset. But us in here, we shed tears for that brother and for his family. And what that does is that gives us the strength to fight even harder. We make the sacrifice to make it to these classes and go to camp and pass out flies and do all these things in 100-degree weather to wake you up, black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man. This is why we do these things. And if you grow weak because you got into an argument with your woman or she threatened to leave you because you don't celebrate Christmas no more, and you allow her to rule over,
So, like, if y'all could bear with us, then we're having internet difficulties. You can hear me, Jaime?
Khan, I can hear you.
Okay, Con. We just want to wait for Officer Shabal to jump back in.
Khan.
He dropped out. So, like, I'm gonna just take the class over till he jumps back on. But everything Officer Shabal is saying is so heavy, right? Like, we got to be like Moses. When Moses found out his true identity, that's one thing that Blacks and Latinos are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You do not know your identity. That's the reason why you are destroyed. That's the reason why you want to be American so much, right? But the Lord has given you an identity according to the Bible, and Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true descendants. Are the true descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel. You know what I mean? And one thing that Moses, when he found out that he was an Israelite, you know what I mean, he went out because he was raised under Pharaoh. Today that would be America. You know what I mean? And he went out and he started seeing the same police brutality that you see that Officer Sabal is bringing out. That's the same police brutality that Officer Sabal, it's like that Moses saw. You know what I mean? And he might an Egyptian, but that's not what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do is we're gonna separate. You know what I mean? And we're gonna hate all the holidays, everything America teaches. You know what I mean? All the philosophies. That's how we're gonna separate. Like, in the book of Obadiah, it said that Esau is gonna be cut off because of their violence against their brother Jacob. You know what I mean? And if the Lord's saying that they're going to cut off, we got to stop joining hand in hand with the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? We gotta cut them off right now. We got to cut off all the the holidays. Don't celebrate Mother's Day that's coming up. That's not part of our heritage. You find our feast days in the book of Leviticus. You know what I mean? And those are the ones you have to keep. You are a traitor, and you are going against the Most High power when you celebrate American holidays, when you celebrate your birthday. You know what I mean? The reason why you hate your own brothers because your oppressor hates your people, and because you want to be American so bad, you start the hatred towards your brother starts to grow because you don't your love to the oppressor every day. You want to you want to gain his love, and because you want to so like sir, you want to take it over.
Go ahead and finish your point. I'll come back in. Slacking
Yeah,
y'all for all the technical issues.
yeah, sir. I'm just saying how, what I mean, because we are giving the oppressor our love every day, and we want to be appreciated by him, and he's never going to appreciate anything that we do to make them prosper. You know what I mean? And because you have no more love for your brother, that's the reason why you don't have your best interest in mind for your own people. So like I said,
Nah. What you said is on point, which actually leads to the next story that I want to read, because you were talking about how we give all our love to the oppressor, and yet the oppressor doesn't give any love to us, right? And when I'm getting ready to read right now, you know what I'm saying, is a perfect example of that, right? It says Tyrese ordered to pay $636,000 in child support and legal fees to his ex-wife. Tyrese says that the judge in his ongoing case called his ex-wife out of her name. Let me see. Let me get some more. Hold on. It's a point behind this. It says this is what Tyrese is saying, right? Tyrese is saying we have a racist judge in Atlanta who called my ex-wife and the mother of my child a bitch. We tried to get him thrown off the bench. They kept him on, and not only that, they just put him back on my case. Meet me at the courthouse at 8:30, fathers, for a prayer. Please tag all bloggers, press, and media in Atlanta. You guys need to follow Rule 22 motion to be in the actual courtroom with their cameras on IG, Facebook Live, and or the media in itself, right? So now the reason why I'm pulling this is because we all know that Tyrese has made a lot of money off of this oppressor, right? But understand that the oppressor has made a whole lot of money off of him, right? And so based on not only the ruling against him, but what the judge had to say about his wife, how would you sum up how the oppressor looks at you, even if you're a celebrity and have made movies and sold all these records and all these other things? What is the judge saying to Tyrese and his ex-wife, despite all the money and success and fame that Tyrese has accomplished in his empire? Who knows? Because this is something similar to another story that we read not too long ago, right? With a celebrity thinking that the oppressor had love for him, right? And this is it right here. This is it right here. True Battles of War in Las Vegas. When you get past all the bullshit, I don't give a damn how much money you got. I don't give a damn how many records you sold, and I don't give a damn how many tickets your movie sold. When it's all said and done, you're nothing more than another nigga.
Right.
And the judge lets you know this by openly calling your ex-wife a bitch in court. And then to show you just how much the so-called white man supports his own, they filed a motion to get the judge thrown off the case. And guess what? The judge is still on the case. If that's not the ultimate fuck you without saying fuck you, there you go. Right. Excuse my language, but y'all get the point. You get what I'm saying? That's a perfect example right there. And because of Christianity, we're continuously trying to give our love to a nation of people who continues to give us hate upon hate upon hate upon hate. You get what I'm saying? That's why in the book of Jeremiah, right, Commandant, in the book of Jeremiah, what Jeremiah said is Israel a homeborn slave? You know what I'm saying? Like he's asking this rhetorically. It's like, damn, what the hell is wrong with y'all? After all the years of oppression, after all the years of lynching and murdering and raping and robbing, y'all still trying to kiss this man's ass? When all he do is show you how he really feels about you, no matter how hard you try to love him, right? Now, with that leads me into the next thing, right? And I'm pretty sure by now everybody's aware of Jerry Springer dying today, right? There's more Negroes who are sad and in mourning over Jerry Springer dying than there is oppressors. And all Jerry Springer did is make a mockery out of Negroes. He got rich while you got made out to look like nothing more than trailer trash. Every episode of Jerry Springer back in the mid to late 90s featured black men and black women, paternity suits, so-called cheating, a man allegedly cheating on his woman or whatever the case may be, right? And I don't know who the father of my children is. You get my point? He made millions off of us while we got made to look like fools.
Right.
And all we got was a plane ticket and a free meal, you know what I'm saying, in a goddamn hotel room. You get my point? This is what we got while Jerry Springer made millions. He made so much money to where his security guard was able to parlay the exploitation of Negroes into getting his own show. Well, what does he do? The same goddamn thing.
Right.
Steve Wilkos probably to this day, his show is probably pretty much the same thing, you know what I'm saying, just like Jerry Springer was, right? And here's the thing about it is, right? Here's the thing about it is that this is what you got to understand, right? There was a point in time where, yes, Steve Wilkos, that's his name, Taza Ward the Water, right? Worse than Maury, way worse than Maury. You know what I'm saying? But the cat's name is Steve Wilkos, right? So now I don't know if y'all remember this, but there was a brief period of time where Jerry Springer tried to tone it down. You get my point? Try to be a little bit more PC, I guess. I'm not sure if he was catching backlash. I'm not sure what happened, right? When that cat's ratings took a nosedive and he stopped making all that money, what did he do? He went right back to the same format. And what did we do when he went back to that same format? We ran right back over there with his ass and was watching. And as I sit back and I think about that show, you got niggas literally trying to tear each other's heads off, and you got the audience screaming Jerry as if Jerry Springer himself is out there throwing hands.
Right.
He's sitting there soaking this up. His head is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, while his pockets is growing bigger and bigger and bigger, while we're made to look like fools and more fools. Why? Because we just want to get on TV. You get what I'm saying? This is what Christianity does for you. Christianity strips away your moral compass. Christianity teaches you how to love everybody but yourself and your own. You see what I'm saying? With these law, statutes, and commandments, we would never go on a show like that. We wouldn't even participate in nothing like that, no matter how much money they threw at us. You get what I'm saying? And so I just wanted to throw that in there, because the thing about it is that we have to understand, as long as you're making money for the oppressor, he will tolerate you. But can y'all imagine what was going through Jerry Springer's mind as he watching these cats fight over crumbs while he's making millions? You're fighting over what? $500 maybe? $1,000? You know what I'm saying? You get off your slavery for a couple of days. You get to fly to Chicago or wherever his show was being taped at. I'm not sure. But you get the point. You get to fly to another state. And a lot of it because we poor and oppressed, right? Because we're poor and oppressed, right? We don't have the funds to go out of town. And if we do, we only able to stay for a couple of days. And we're not really able to enjoy ourselves because we had enough money to get out there and get back. And maybe have enough to buy some food. You get what I'm saying? That's what we are. So for an opportunity for a free goddamn plane ticket, a free hotel, Probably you got access to the vending machines, all the snacks on this, another kind of stuff. You wouldn't go on TV and try to knock somebody's head off and run the risk of getting your head knocked off. Why? To make the oppressor millions upon millions of dollars. You get what I'm saying? Commodore, you want to add something to
that? Sir. So like.
All right, ain't no thing, man. Let me go on to the next thing. This one right here. This is a rough one right here as well, man. Y'all gonna have to bear with me, man. So lock it for early. I know got a little choked up a little bit. Man, these is rough, man. All right, this right here is courtesy of TikTok. All right, check this out. Let me turn the volume up so y'all can hear the sound.
Black man shot 20 times inside of the hospital. Inside of the hospital. Go to the video. You twist my arm, sir. In your room, you still got a gun. No. Get your hand up. I got it up. Get your other hand up. Okay. Get it up. Get your hand up. Get your hand up now. I am, sir. I am. Are you okay? Yeah. Can't really move. All right, I am, sir. I am, sir. I am. Can you just calm down, sir? I said I can't get up, sir. I can't get up. Get your hand up. I don't care. Let go of it. Let go of it. I let go of it, sir. It's on the floor. Get your hand up now. Get your hand. Get your other hand up. My other hand is up, sir. Put it up above your head. Put it on your head. Get your right hand up. We're trying. Other hand, dumbass. Get your other hand on your head now. I'm just scared of your hand up. I'm just scared if I move, you're not gonna shoot. Put your hand on your head. I'm just scared if I put your hand on your head. I'm not gonna shoot. Put the gun down there. Get the
Davey.
Let go of the gun and put both of your hands.
Davey, if you take my spot, I'm gonna tase him.
Get your hand up now.
I'm gonna pause it right there. I heard that, right? If you take my spot, I'm going to tase him, which is the correct response in a situation like this. Now, this is a female officer telling another officer, if you take my spot, I'm going to tase him. Let's play some more. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Commandant, go ahead, man. What you got?
So like you could just hear the rage in the other officer's spirit, like he sound like he smite with madness. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure if you heard him shouting. Like he's telling them I can't recall what he said. Something about his hands, get your hands up or something like that. But like just the way he's screaming at him, like he can't wait for him to make the wrong move so he could shoot him. Like he's looking for a motive.
Yeah. And you can hear the brother saying, "I'm scared to move my hand because I don't want you to shoot me." That's exactly what that man said. And that stood out to me. But the other thing that stood out to me was there was a female cop who said, "Trade spots with me, I'll tase him." They didn't give a damn about none of that. Tase? The fuck? We don't tase around here. Bitch, what's wrong with you? No, we shoot to kill around here. And if y'all seen the headline in the video, he was shot over 20 times.
Damn.
And I know y'all heard, I couldn't play it no more. It's like y'all can, if y'all want to, y'all can go on TikTok and y'all can look for the video yourselves. I think y'all get the point. You see what I'm saying? And it's things like this is why, once again, the oppressor must pay for his crimes.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So when we talk about slavery, oh, that was a long time ago. Okay, well, this just happened not that long ago. So what is your response to that? How do you respond to something that just recently happened? What is your excuse now? You get my point? And in class, many a times when we play police videos and stuff like that, what is their response? Police are trained marksmen. They are trained marksmen. So if you were really trying to uphold the law, you would have shot at him once and you would have hit him in a spot that would have made him surrender. But before you even pulled the trigger on that gun, the first thing you should have done was reach for your taser, right? But nah, why would I do that? We don't want to tase him. We want to kill him. And on top of that, like the brother's saying, you ran the risk of injuring other people because you're in an emergency room. You didn't give a damn about none of that. All you seen was another target. And that's how the so-called white man looks at us. We're nothing more but targets to them. And they use us as target practice. So every so many months or however it works, right? They go to the gun range and they do their target practice, and they take that target back practice out into the streets and they use it on the lower people. You see what I'm saying? And like the sister saying, he wasn't even armed. He wasn't even armed. And if let's just say he was armed. Let's just say, just for the sake of this conversation, right? He was laying face down. So how much damage could he have possibly done? How dangerous could he have been, Commandant, if he's laying face down?
You can't do anything, sir.
You see what I'm saying? And if they really cared about upholding the law, they would have walked up on that dude, hit that dude with that taser, cuffed his ass, and that would have been the end of it. And like the sister said, there was no right or reason to shoot at that man more than once. That said 20 times. So once again, when y'all say, well, why y'all always putting Ezekiel 35:5? Because the Ezekiel 35:5 talks about the perpetual hatred. What's more perpetual than shooting an unarmed man in a goddamn emergency room 20 plus times? What's more perpetual than that? And like the sister said, even if he was armed, he had to get shot that many times? That's what you're telling me? But we're wrong for saying the white man's the devil. We're wrong for saying it. We're wrong for calling him a virus on the earth. We're wrong for calling him a terrorist. We're wrong for saying it, Commandant. For saying it, honey. We're wrong for saying it with our mouths. Meanwhile, they show you just how much of a virus and a plague on the earth they are because they pull them swords every chance they get. The Bible refers to it as swords, but today we all know that those swords are referred to as pistols today. I'm not sure what the standard issue carry is for a cop, but I would imagine it's a 9mm. I would imagine. Right? Like the brother said, there was a white man in Florida who wanted to kill the mayor of Florida, where he prepared for war with ammunition and even prepared food and was captured alive. There was an attempt on the mayor of Florida's life. This cat had ammunition and everything. He was ready to go to war. Captured that man alive. Meanwhile, this cat's in the emergency room. So him being in the emergency room off top, he can't be much of a threat if he's in the emergency room. And then he's unarmed. Meanwhile, he gets shot 20 times. But we're wrong, though, Commandant, because we call the white man the devil. We're wrong. Let me tell you something, man. Until Christ returns or I'm no longer on this earth, I'm going to continue to say that the white man is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
He is
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? The scriptures say the wicked is born estranged from the womb. Real quick, is that Psalms 58:3? I believe that is. Let me make sure. I believe that's Psalms 58:3. Let me double check. I'm gonna have you pull that. All right. Let me make sure first, real quick. Yeah, let me get that. Let me get Isaiah 58:3. Right. And while you pull that, right, like the sister said, you could be holding your baby and they gonna gun you down right there where you stand. You think they would have cared if somebody would have got shot by friendly fire? They hear all the commotion. They coming out like, damn, what the hell is going on? And would have caught a bullet to the head. You think they would have cared? They wouldn't have. They wouldn't have cared at all. Why? Because they don't care about you. And that's why you look so foolish in 2023, sitting here trying to make excuses for the so-called white man. Sitting here trying to make excuses as to why we should love them. Sitting here trying to talk about how God loves everybody. You really think God can love such an evil, wicked, cruel, just cruel bastard? I mean, just wicked. You want to know why we focus on the so-called white man more so than the other nations? Because not even the other nations are as cruel as this beast.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And these other nations are under the foot of this beast as well. They just don't treat them as bad as they treat us. You get what I'm saying? You got that, young man?
Counter Rakan, sir.
Please.
The book of Psalms, chapter 58 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
The wicked are estranged from the womb.
Mm-hmm.
They go astray as soon as they be born.
Listen to that,
lies.
man. Listen, you can stop right there. Actually, I'm gonna have you read it again because that last part is them as well. Read it again from the top, Salaki.
The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born. What do you see them doing? What do you see these fathers doing with their young sons out there in the woods? Them sons be them kids be 3-4 years old. And what are they doing out there in the woods? Anybody know? Because I've seen videos of it, and I'm sure y'all have too. And I don't even, you know what I'm saying, have all these different social media accounts, right? I'm sure y'all seen it. What are these oppressor fathers teaching their young sons out there in the woods? Who knows? Come on with it.
Sir, they're teaching them.
Young man, you got it.
Sir, I agree with Kamada. They're teaching them to hunt and to target practice, I should say.
Yes. That's exactly what they're doing. They're training them up. You know how the scriptures say train up a child? They're training up their child. Now, I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying, they're living according to the Bible. I'm not saying that at all. You get what I'm saying? But what I am saying is they're training them up is what they are doing. They're not training them up how to be righteous, but they damn sure training them up. You get what I'm saying? So everybody that said hunting and shooting, everybody's correct because that's exactly what they're doing. And I know I'm not the only one that have seen plenty of videos with these 4 or 5-year-old boys out there in the woods learning how to shoot a goddamn handgun. You know what I'm saying? Or a rifle or whatever the case may be. You get what I'm saying? They're teaching them how to shoot, right? So then that way, by the time they're 10 or 11 years old, they know how to break down the gun, they know how to oil the gun, they know how to put the gun back together, and they know how to kill you in less than 30 seconds. It says the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born. Some of these kids probably come straight out the womb with a goddamn 22 in their hands. Straight out the womb. You get what I'm saying? They first word is probably shotgun or kill niggers or something like that. You get what I'm saying? Because that's the mindset of the oppressor. And then here's the other side of it. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Somebody give me an example of the so-called white man speaking lies. You're absolutely right about that. They train them on how to call us out our name, but let you teach your kid that, and here come all the nonsense that comes along with it. And I got another video I'm gonna play for y'all as well. I got a couple more, y'all. Y'all bear with me. All right. But the thing about it is, I just really want you y'all. I just really want you to understand the mindset and the psyche of the so-called white man. You get what I'm saying? And so now it says that as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Somebody give me an example of them speaking lies. Brother said, white man saying he's a Jew. That's a good one, right? That's a for sure lie. Jeremiah 14:2 proved that along with a whole bunch of other scriptures. But that's definitely true. What's another one? I mean, you can't go wrong. There's no wrong answer here. None. But what's an example of them speaking lies? That's a huge one. God loving everybody. We know that's a lie. Young man, come on with it.
That they discovered America, sir.
Yes, that's another one. You get what I'm saying? We could probably spend the rest of class, you know what I'm saying, calling out the lies of the so-called white man. I'll give y'all another one because of the story that we just read. Right? According to the side of their cars, the police's job is to protect and serve. But we all know us blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, especially those that's in Southern California, Commodore, we know that that's not true, right?
Come.
How many times did they come to your neighborhood to protect and to serve?
They don't show up, sir.
You know why? Because you're not worth protecting and serving. That's why.
Right.
You know why? Because you're just another wetback. You're just another beaner. You're nothing to them. Why do we need to go over there? We'll just let them kill their own. You know what I'm saying? Come on with it.
If a cancer, they just come into our revenue to our neighborhoods to get revenue.
That's it. They coming for a shakedown. How much you got on you? How much weed you selling? How much dope you got? How many pills you moving? You see what I'm saying? Like the sister said, basically, whenever he opens his mouth, he's telling a lie. You get what I'm saying? The biggest lie that is that Christianity nonsense. That Christianity nonsense we'll be living on to this day. You get what I'm saying? And speaking of Christianity, speaking of lies, speaking of the so-called oppressor, right? I got a few more stories, but I'm gonna go into the topic. I want to make sure I get these scriptures in. All right. Let me see. Where do I want to go next? Yeah. This is a cold one right here. Y'all check this out. Y'all can find this video on YouTube. Check this out. Hold on, I gotta wait for the commercial. Y'all bear with me. Now, before I play the video, y'all let me know if y'all can see this. Hold on, let me see. Y'all let me know if y'all can read that. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Can y'all see that? Let me get a little bit closer so y'all can know what y'all finna listen to. So in case y'all can't read that, right? In case y'all can't read that, what that says is 32 arrested in child sting is what that reads. Just in case y'all didn't get that. All right. It says 32 arrested in a child sting. That's an excellent point. The brother said you're worth more dead than alive. They are coming to the neighborhood to kill. That's it. That's it. Or to throw some fake charges on you and lock you up and make money off of you that way. Right? So now that we all know it says 32 arrested in child sting, let me turn the volume up so y'all can hear this. Man, listen. Again, I'm watching this and listening to this with y'all. I'm gonna play the video right now. All right, y'all check this out.
These 32 men have been arrested in a child sex sting. The sting was operated in Greenwood from Tuesday through Thursday, set up by the members of the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, the Franklin Police Department, and...
Hold on. Did y'all hear that? Commandant, did you hear that?
So, like, sir, can you play one more time? So, like,
I'm gonna run this back. Hold on, I'm gonna play it from the beginning. Y'all got to hear this.
In another...
It's like Israel. We just wait for Officer Shabal.
Operated in...
Yes.
All right, Sluggy, I think we back. We good to go?
You Tawaf, sir.
Okay, so did everybody? You know what? Let me play that back. Y'all. I'm not sure if y'all heard this because the class cut out. I'm gonna play this again. Listen to this, man. Again, I heard this for the first time with y'all. Y'all check this out, all right?
In another top story this morning, these 32 men have been arrested in a child sex sting. The sting was operated in Greenwood from Tuesday through Thursday, set up by the members of the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, the Franklin Police Department, and the Edinburgh Police Department.
I'm gonna stop it right there. Did y'all hear that?
Sir.
Sir.
This was 3 different police departments. Now, it's crazy how we segue into this story because, again, I hadn't heard this until right now. What I find interesting is we just got done reading Psalm 58 and 3, talking about they go astray as soon as they be born speaking lies. And what happens? I play a story about a child sex ring that is ran by 3 different police departments. 3 different police departments.
Right.
So now we just got them talking about them speaking lies, right? And we all acknowledge that according to them, it's all about to protect and to serve. So I guess your protecting and serving don't apply to these kids, right? If that's what you're telling me. So you only protect and serve adults, and we obviously know that's not true from the video that we played earlier with the young brother getting shot over 20 times, or the other brother that was shot over 90 times. So not only are you killing unarmed black men in the street, you're running child pornography sex rings. Here's some more though. Hold on, the video's not even done yet. Hold on, listen to this.
Majority of those arrests are from Indiana, with 1 man from Tennessee. Since December of 2020, a total of 81 suspects have been arrested in.
Did y'all hear that? 81. 81 suspects have been arrested.
Very nice.
Are you kidding me? 81. So once again, to protect and to serve, right? 81 of them, right? Let's get some more.
Child sex stings initiated by those departments. You can find more on
Hold
this
on.
story. Members of the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, the Franklin Police Department, and the Edinburgh Police Department. Majority of those arrests are from Indiana, with 1 man from Tennessee. Since December of 2020, a total of 81 suspects have been arrested in child sex stings initiated by those departments. You can find more on this story by heading to our website, Fox 59. It's on the homepage.
I mean, Commodore, you got it, man.
Man, sir, he's a sexual deviant, sir. He's over there. You know, it's the same as the Christian church. They take advantage. That's the home of child molesters, sir.
Mm-hmm.
That is so. You know what I mean? And we should have learned something back from the story. What happened with with the children in the school when that sodomite went in there and shot them? Like, these officers had level 4, whatever, you know, the newest level of protection, protective gear. And they didn't go in there to protect, you know, the children from a sodomite, you know what I mean? And for them to turn around, you know, I know it's not the same state, but, you know, for officers to turn around and take advantage of innocent children like that is devastating.
Yeah, I mean, it truly is. And it's, I mean, listen, once again, this is what happens when you fill up that Christian church, and this is what happens when you continue to want to join hand in hand with the so-called white man and put them on such a pedestal, like they're just so clean and so pure and so innocent. And for those that don't understand, right, everything that they speak is lies, like the scriptures say, right? So now, even this right here, right? They call themselves white. Why? Because when you think of white, you think of pure, clean, you know what I mean? All these different things, right? But they're not white at all. Let one of them stand out in the sun too long and see how that work out. You get my point? Let it be too cold outside and see how that works out. You get what I'm saying? And then when they identify us, they call us black. When in reality, You know what I'm saying? Commodore's warband is black. You see what I'm saying? The brother Jaime's glasses is black. You get what I'm saying? This T-shirt I got on is black. You get what I'm saying? But if you look at us, we're all 3 different shades of brown. We're not black. You get what I'm saying? Even the darkest skinned so-called black man or so-called Hispanic man, even the most darkest skin is not black. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so that right there is another example of their lies. You get what I'm saying? And so this right here with the police department running child sex stings, you know what I mean, and child and running all these sex trafficking, right? Who do you go to? Who are you supposed to go to now? Your kid walking home from school and you think everything is cool because there's a police car on the corner. You think, oh, they safe. You know what I'm saying? It's a police car right there. So now not only do you have to worry about the police gunning down your kids, you got to worry about the police sex trafficking your kids. And that's how destroyed we are as a nation. You get what I'm saying? Commodore, do you want to add anything else to that before I go on to the next thing? I think I lost Commodore for a second.
So like I said, I was trying to find a preset because I got to, you know, how you talking about, you know, the lies. There's a precept that I'm trying to look for that speaks about how they slander us. You know what I mean? I was trying to look for it, sir. But I don't have anything. So like I said,
yes, I feel like I didn't mean to step on you. What I was gonna say is when you find that, you know what I'm saying, you can just go ahead and put your hand up or something and just go ahead and read it, all right? Because I want to go into one last thing. I had a couple of other videos that I wanted to play, but I'll save them for next week, all right? Lord allow, you know what I'm saying? And I'll pull them in next week's class, all right? So now, like the sister said, black is nothing more than a color. It's just a color, just like white. It's nothing more than a color, right? So the brother said it's even sad that all these parents that call for missing kids and the officer that responds is potentially responsible for abducting them. Listen, man, that right there is heavy as hell. You got those cops acting like they taking down notes and descriptions and phone numbers and all these other things. Oh yeah, we're working on it. We got a few leads. You know what I'm saying? We'll be in touch soon. The whole time they know exactly where them kids is. Them kids is hiding down, and them kids is tied up in a goddamn basement somewhere. If I could sidebar real quick, just to get the mindset of the oppressor, I forget the name of this movie I was watching, right? But it was this of course this family where it was a family full of oppressors, right? And so there was a teenage daughter. She was the rebellious type, right? And she wanted to go out and she wanted to go out and go somewhere with her boyfriend, right? And her father said she couldn't go, right? She decided to sneak out anyway, right? Her father finds out about it, and he punishes her by locking her down in the basement, right? So he locks her. So he locks her down in the basement, right? And so he goes down there to check on her and all these other kind of things or whatever, right? He's going down there. He's just treating her like she's really garbage, right? And so he said something to her, and then she said something back that he didn't like, and so he decided to punish her for her smart ass mouth. Anybody want to take a wild guess how he punished her? Now, this is his daughter, mind you. Anybody want to take a wild guess how he punished his daughter? Who wants to take a guess? He decided he was going to teach her a lesson for having a smart ass mouth. That's exactly what he did. Over and over and over again, right? To the point to where she ended up having several of her father's kids, mind you, several, right? And guess what? This movie, yeah, he kept her locked up. He kept her locked up and knocked up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say that to make light of it. You know what I mean? Even though it's an oppressor, we don't wish rape on nobody. It is one of the worst things that you could possibly ever do. Rape and molestation, y'all already know how I get down. rape and molestation, them two things right there, you know what I'm saying? Them is some heinous crimes, and you deserve any and everything that comes along with the punishments for those crimes, right? And so now, with everything that I just said, right, I'm talking about this being a movie. You wanna know what's even crazier than it being a movie? Guess what? This movie was based on actual events. So this actually happened. I wish I could remember the name of the movie. But this actually happened in real life. This is an all the way true story. And why am I saying that? The reason why I brought that out is because I want y'all to understand the mindset of the oppressor. So like the brother said, you're calling in looking for your missing child, and your missing child is locked up in a policeman's basement somewhere, and because we got to throw that out there as well, because we always talking about she, and we're not saying this that is different, you know what I'm saying, or nothing. Like, we're not saying that at all. We're not trying to make light of it ever. But we always talk about her being locked down in that basement, being taught a lesson. But guess what? He's down in that basement as well, and he's being taught a lesson as well. Believe that. You see what I'm saying? This is what happens as well. Yeah, you might be right. I don't remember. You might be right, but y'all, you get the point though. You get what I'm saying? And so the thing about it is, like I say, not only do they have our young daughters in those basements, quote unquote, teaching them a lesson for being bad kids, they got our sons down in them basements as well. You understand what I'm saying? Coming out, you want to add anything to that?
Man, so like, sir, you know, like I heard this about, you know, the current president, sir, how he, you know, his daughter wrote a book and how he would shower with her.
Wow.
You know what I mean? The oppressor, you know, he'll take advantage of his own. You know what I mean? If he don't care about his own woman, believe that he has his, you know, he's gonna protect us, or he has his best interest for us.
Right.
You know what I mean? If he don't even care about his own, his you know, his blood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, sir? Like he is so wicked, sir.
Yeah. Now, most definitely, and you're 1000% correct. And so again, this all goes back to the scripture, Psalms 58:3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. A lot of these devils can't wait to be parents, and they're hoping they're hoping that when their wife get pregnant, they're hoping that wife is pregnant with a girl. Why? Because that white woman gets a little bit too old, puts on a little bit too much weight, stops taking care of herself, on and on and on and on and on. And whatever it was that he used to do with his wife, he's waiting for his daughter to become of age so he can do the same thing to her. And I don't say this as a light thing because, again, it's not cool. But as a reality, I just told y'all about a movie that was based on actual events. So don't tell me that it's not a real life thing. You get my point? Hey, Thawada, for everybody that typed in the name of the movie, Girl in the Basement is the name of it. If y'all listen, if y'all choose to watch, you know what I'm saying, be careful, because I'm trying to tell you, it's disgusting as hell, and it'll piss you the hell off. You get what I'm saying? One last thing, real quick. I promise y'all, real quick. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have a brother get the scriptures lined up for me, and I'm gonna read about this a little bit. I'm gonna speak on this a little bit. All right. Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 38. I'm gonna have you read 38, and then I'm gonna have you drop down to 48. All right, Jaime, Baba Kashaw. So now, while the brother's looking for the scriptures, right? So now, as I was getting ready for this class, right, I was watching the NFL draft, and I don't know how many brothers, you know what I'm saying, watch the NFL draft. I'm sure little to no sisters mess with that NFL draft, and I get it. I understand it's not your thing, so it's not a problem, right? But what I saw in this draft is the same thing that I see every year in the draft. And for those that's not familiar with the draft, for time's sake, I'm gonna tell y'all how it goes, right? First of all, with the scouting combine and these private workouts at these universities and stuff like that, where they're not getting paid, mind you, okay? What it is the modern day slave plantation. Why? How fast can he run? How high can he jump? How strong is he? What does he look like with his shirt off? You see what I'm saying? Does he have any injuries? Is there anything? Are there any pre-existing conditions? Right? They want to know all these things because they want to know, you know what I'm saying, if you're a good stock or if you're a good cattle, Salaki, good cattle, right? And they do all this poking and prodding and digging into your background and all these other kind of things. Why? So that on draft night, you can get your name called, you can shed tears of excitement, of joy, of relief, a combination of all those different things. And then you walk up to that stage and you walk up there and you give the commissioner of the NFL, who's an oppressor, the biggest goddamn bear hug that you've ever seen a man get. These brothers are so full of tears and joy and excitement and all these different emotions. And I seen one cat, like he went to hug the commissioner and literally picked that man up off the ground. Literally. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember the cat's name. I'm sure they're gonna be showing on ESPN all night and on NFL Network, but I'm talking about he walked up to him, did the handshake, hugged him, and lifted him up off the ground. Right? Why? Because in his mind, Oz free now. Oz don't have to live in the hood no more, massa. Oz don't have to live in the projects no more, massa. Oz don't have to eat top ramen for dinner no more, massa. Oz could feed myself and feeds my family. Oz be good cattle. Oz be a good nigga. You get my point? And all this is doing is it's just further showing the oppression. You see what I'm saying? And like the brother said, sound like a selling block, aka sports combine. Then they hold up their oppressive jersey with a big ass Kool-Aid smile. They just so happy because in their mind, damn man, I finally get to move up out the hood. Man, I finally get to find drive a car that's not gonna break down on me. Man, I finally get to get my mama that house, right? And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with any of those things. What I am saying is we've been so destroyed as a people that we think going out there and putting our bodies through hell because the average football hit is the equivalent of like being in a car accident. You get what I'm saying? And like the sister said, they have that I made it mentality, not understanding that if you don't walk the company line, you'll be just like Colin Kaepernick. And I'm not saying what they did to Colin Kaepernick was cool. Thankfully for Colin, he was in a position to take the hit financially. He was trying to get back into the NFL more so for the love of the game than he was for the financial gain. You get what I'm saying? At least on paper, he made some good money. Now what he did with that money, hey, I don't know. But y'all get the point though. These brothers walking up on this stage, hugging this oppressor, and like the brother said, holding this jersey up with this big ass smile on their face, thinking, finally made it, not understanding that if you tear your knee the first day of training camp, more time now you're gonna get cut. If you post the wrong thing on social media, you're gonna get cut.
Right.
If you say the wrong thing in a press conference, you're going to get cut. Now, based on everything that I just said, how would you sum up everything that I just said? And in some cases, that is some of their mentality. I finally get to get me a white girl. So sad, but yet so true. So now, how would you sum up everything that I just said? And I'm talking about the last part, meaning you say the wrong thing, you do the wrong thing, you get injured, right? What does that let you know? For time's sake, I'm gonna give it to y'all. Anybody ever heard of that book, $40 Million Slave?
Sir, I never read it though, but I heard about it.
You see what I'm saying? And like the brother said, you're expendable. You're nothing more than a slave on an auction block. You say the wrong things, you get what I'm saying? You act a little bit too niggerish, and guess what? They're gonna get rid of you. And they'll just go through the process all over again. You see what I'm saying? And it's a reminder that at the end of the day, like I said about Tyrese, when it's all said and done, when they cut you, it's a reminder that you're just another nigga. Whether it's football, basketball, baseball, it don't matter. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna get cut. And they're not gonna care about the fact that you tore your knee and you'll never be able to walk right again. They don't care that you got a mortgage. They don't care that you got a family. They don't care about none of that. You're no longer profitable to them. And the minute that you stop becoming profitable to them is the minute that they kick your black ass out on the streets. You know what I'm saying? Read that when you got it, please. It's like
Khan, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 38. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shall gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it.
Read it again.
Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shall gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it.
Meaning what? Right? Meaning what? You're going to go out onto that field, right? Now, this scripture isn't literally talking about the football field, but we're going to apply it to the field because the football field is no different than the cotton field, no different than the orange field or the lettuce field or the tomato field. Y'all get the point. It's no different, right? It says you're going to carry much seed out onto the field, meaning what? You're going to give your blood, sweat, and tears to the game of football. You're going to give your blood, sweat, and tears to the game of basketball. You're going to give your blood, sweat, and tears to the sport of baseball, right? You're going to give all that, and you're going to get little in return. Why? Because the locust shall consume it. Who are the locusts in this metaphor? Who got it?
The oppressor, sir.
The oppressor. That's all it can be. You get what I'm saying? And that's what we are in America all the way in 2023. You know what I'm saying? Drop down to verse 48, Baba Kashaw.
Khan. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemy, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
What is that yoke of iron in this context? That yoke of iron in this context is that helmet, them shoulder pads, and them football cleats. That's the yoke of iron until you're destroyed. You want to ask something, Commodore? You have something?
I was gonna say, sir. I was gonna say that you know, whatever year contract they have is a yoke of iron, sir.
Yeah.
You know, the 3 year, 5 year contract.
Yeah. Nah, you're 1000% correct. You see what I'm saying? That is the yoke of iron. Why? Because in that contract, right? How many of y'all know that football contracts are not guaranteed? I think I broke this down in class before. This is what y'all gotta understand. If you look at the little ticker at the bottom of ESPN or NFL Network or any of those sports networks, it'll say, let's just say, for example, matter of fact, I'll give y'all a perfect example. Lamar Jackson re-signed with the Ravens today, right? He signed for $260 million, right? And I don't mean to say only, but just feel what I'm saying real quick, right? He signed a $260 million contract. $186 million of that contract was guaranteed. So that means what? There's at least $80 million that could potentially be left on the table. And all that's based on performances, you know what I'm saying, practices. Who knows what the stipulations is, right? Kyler Murray has signed a contract extension for the Arizona Cardinals. And what did they do? They put practice clauses in his contract. He had to spend X amount of time practicing. He had to spend X amount of time in the playbook. He had to spend X amount of time doing this, X amount of time doing that. You get my point? Like I just said, only guarantee when it benefits the oppressor. This is why there's no guaranteed contracts in football. There's a few of them. Deshaun Watson got a $230 million guaranteed contract, right? And you know how mad the league was about that? You get what I'm saying? But that's the point, though. And at the end of the day, if Deshaun Watson spits on the sidewalk, if Deshaun Watson jaywalks, if Deshaun Watson gets caught in another one of them goddamn massage parlors, quote unquote, Him and that $230 million is going to be kicked out the goddamn league. You see what I'm saying? And like the sister said, a yoke of iron can be written in blood for your soul. And she's absolutely correct. You know what I mean? So if no one else has anything else that they want to add, you know what I'm saying? Any questions, you know what I'm saying? You're going to type them in. If not, we're going to spend this last 30 minutes going into the topic. All right. I know I was a little heavy on the stories, but again, without the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana, a lot of these stories that we're reading, no one would even know about. You get what I'm saying? And so I had a few more, but for time's sake, you know what I'm saying? This is a scripture breakdown class. So, you know what I'm saying? Why don't we break down some scriptures, right? So now, again, the topic for tonight's class is, what is love according to the Bible? You know what I'm saying? So the first scripture we're going to start with is 1 John 4 and 16. It's like it. 1 John 4 and 16 is where we're going to start. Whoever got it, read it, please.
Khan Arwan Khan. The book of 1 John, chapter 4 and verse 16.
Uh-huh.
And we have known and believed the love that God hath to us. God is love. And he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him.
Drop down to verse 20.
Verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hated his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen?
And this right here is so important, right? This right here is so important. Like the sister said, obedience to the Most High is the only way that you can truly love. You see what I'm saying? And what she said goes hand in hand with these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Love is not about feelings or emotions or any of those things. A lot of relationships fail because most of the time it's sisters, but every now and then it's brothers. I fell out of love with you. I don't love you anymore. When in reality, love is not based on emotions. You see what I'm saying? That's why a lot of relationships fail. That's why there's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, strained relationships within families. You get my point? When in reality, true love is loving thy neighbor as thyself. And if you love your neighbor as yourself, you would never say, oh, I don't love you no more. Oh, that love is gone. Oh, I fell out of love with you. There's no such thing as none of those things. If you're telling yourself that you fell out of love with somebody, that's you being in your dumb ass head. That's when in reality, when you say that I fell out of love with you, what happens is that nigga on your job is buying you lunch every day. That nigga on your job is buying you flowers. That nigga on that job is telling you, I could treat you way better than that nigga's treating you. And because you're going through problems, you're going to start listening more and more and more and more and more. And you're going to fall out of love with the man that you've been with for the last 15 years because you fell in love with and fell in lust with a man that you knew for 3 days. And after those 3 days, after he done gassed you up and sweet talked you and said all these things, and he had his way with you, guess what? He's going to show you that he does not love you at all. Because his mindset is going to be, well, damn, if I got her to sleep with me when she had a man, who's to say that she's not going to do the same thing to me? So now what ends up happening? You just get treated like another piece of meat. That's what ends up happening. And you get passed around, and passed around. And then you'll turn around and say there's no good men in the world. When in reality, it all starts with yourself because you think love is based on emotion. When real love is thugging that thing out through the good and through the bad. That's real love. You get what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with brothers. Brothers have a falling out and they won't talk to each other no more. Now it's beef. When I see my niggas on site, which is funny because how I'm gonna be your nigga, but yet it's on site. That don't even make no sense. You get what I'm saying? If we understood love thy neighbor as thyself, if we understood that black and brown was the same, you know what I'm saying? There wouldn't have been no potential riots after the Tank Davis Ryan Garcia fight. It would have been all love. You get what I'm saying? But I'm sure down there in LA, I'm especially East LA, I'm sure them brothers down, them so-called Hispanics down there was probably ready to ride. Probably. Because they don't see the bigger picture. Not understanding that it's better that two brothers fight in a ring than a street full of brothers fighting out in the streets. Because if brothers is fighting out in the streets, chances are brothers fighting on the streets equals somebody being dead. Meanwhile, two brothers fighting in the ring, you know what I'm saying? Somebody might get knocked out, might get scuffed up a little bit, but they'll live to see another day. When you take that hatred out into them streets, there's a chance that there's going to be a few people that's not going to make it out them streets. You get what I'm saying? But with love, you know what I'm saying? With love, according to these scriptures, you'll work out those alts. You'll holler at that brother. You'll holler at that sister. You know what I'm saying? Y'all would have been married for 20 years, and y'all might get on each other's goddamn nerves. But when it all comes down to it and y'all need one another, y'all going to be there for one another. That's love. Love is making that brother some lunch for his slavery, even though you pissed at him. Love is going to go give your wife a jump start, even though you mad at her because she didn't cook the night before or because she talked too goddamn much. But she gets stranded on the side of the road, she wake you up out your sleep, and you're going to get up. You might be talking shit the whole way there, but you're going to get up and you're going to go do it. Why? That's love. Why am I saying that's love? Who knows? And I need a precept. It's in the New Testament. That's y'all's clue. Who got it?
So like I said, what was the question again?
The question was, how do you know? Damn, if I say it like that, I'm gonna give it away, right? Based on the scenarios and the situations I just gave, right? What I said was love is about action. Love is not about emotions or feelings or you being mad at him that today and loving him tomorrow, or you being mad at her today and then everything is good tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Love is not about how you feel, right? Love is about, again, I gave the scenario of sister got a flat tire on the side of the road. That's your wife. She call you. You mad as a motherfucker, but you're going to get up and you're going to help her change that tire. You're going to call AAA and you're going to pull up with her until AAA gets there and make sure that nothing happens to her. Despite you being mad as hell, you got crust all inside of your eyes because you was asleep. You got drool running down the side of your goddamn mouth because you was snoring and shit. You know what I mean? You tired as hell. You know what I'm saying? You snoring like you count bears, sheep, all kind of shit. But she's going to call you and you're going to get your ass up and you're going to go help her. Why? Because you love her, right? So now what scripture can you pull to prove that love is not about words? Love is not about emotions or feelings, but love is about action, like the sister said.
I got it, sir.
Go ahead.
The book of 1 John, chapter 3 and 18.
Mm-hmm.
My little children,
Mm-hmm.
let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth.
Boom. That's it right there. Right? That's it right there. Love not, and to sum it up, love not in word, but in deed. Right? The sister said John 14 and 15. Let me see. That's true, but that does not apply to what I to the analogies that I was just laying out. But you're correct, to Amanabah. You know what I'm saying? And that's a perfect precept for this breakdown. You know what I'm saying? John 14 and 15, which I actually don't have in this breakdown. So to water that, so y'all can add that to y'all little breakdown. John 14 and 15. You know what I'm saying? Love is not about words. You know what I'm saying? Love is about actions. That's why the scriptures say, "Love not in word, but in deed." You know what I'm saying? Communication is love as well. You see what I'm saying? Without communication, how could you ever be on the same page? You know what I'm saying? For those brothers who are married, you know what I'm saying? It's not a dictatorship. You get what I'm saying? You got to communicate. Even though we know the order, you know what I'm saying? We know that's the Most High, Christ, man, and woman, right? The woman answers to the man and the man answers to Christ. And although we know all that, that does not mean that a man is to rule his house with an iron fist. You know what I'm saying? A husband, if a wife asks her husband for something, or she wants to do something, and that husband tells her no, in the spirit of brotherhood and sisterhood, he should tell her why the answer is no. That's communication. Hey, listen, Shorty, I know you want to go over there. I know you want to kick it with them nasty bitches over there, but listen, it's dangerous over there. It be cracking over there. It be gunshots all the time. I don't want you over there because, you know what I'm saying, I'm way over here, you way over there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if you're going to be safe if you way over there. You get my point?
Right.
Hey, my lord, is it cool if I go to the club, man? My cousins are out here from out of town, man. They want to go to the club and have a good time. You know what I'm saying? What club you trying to go to? Oh, you trying to go to the club, shake your ass? Nah, you can't go to the club, shake your ass because niggas be putting pills in sisters' drinks and they be raping them sisters in the back of the club. That's why you cannot go.
Right.
Now, based on what I just said, what would you call that, Commodore?
Liar, sir.
No. Love is the answer. That is love. Love not in word, but in deed. You see what I'm saying? A husband's responsibility is to lead, guide, direct, and protect. And even when he's not there, he can still lead, guide, direct, and protect. Do not go over there, man. You are not allowed to go over there because it's dangerous over there. Them niggas be hanging out in front of that goddamn gas station. Get your gas right after work when it's still some light outside. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're gonna go to the grocery store, just wait till I get there, man. Goddamn, you know I hate the grocery store, but fuck it. I'd rather go with you, you know what I'm saying, than for you to go at night because it's dangerous at night. You know what I'm saying? That's action. You see what I'm saying? Love is doing the thing that you don't want to do. Love is about doing the things that you don't want to do. You do them anyway. That's love. You see what I'm saying? Love is getting off from your slavery and having to drive way on another side of town. You know what I'm saying? Even though you're tired as hell and you're falling asleep. That's love. Because you make sacrifices for those that you love and care about. You get what I'm saying? The scriptures say love not in word, but in deed. You see what I'm saying? Love is about action. You see what I'm saying? You can tell a brother, man, I got nothing but love for you, brother. But yet this is the same brother that you'll try to rob because he got more money than you, or because he got the promotion that you wanted. That's not love. You get what I'm saying? Did we read 21? Oh no, let's get 21.
Khan, the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
And this commandment have we from him, that he who loved God love his brother also.
You see what I'm saying? And so now not only does this apply to the brothers, but this applies to the sisters as well. It says, in this commandment have we from him, meaning from the Most High, that he who loveth God loveth his brother also. You see what I'm saying? So if you say that you love the Most High, but yet you hate your brother, it's not possible for you to love the Most High because the Most High is about brotherhood. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
How can you set your brother up, or how can you plot on your brother's wife and then say that you love the Most High? That sounds like Christianity to me. You get what I'm saying? Let's drop that. Let me get Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1. This is in the Apocrypha for those that don't know. It's like a Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1.
I got it, sir. The book of Baruch in the Apocrypha, chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandment of God. So like the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
You see what I'm saying? So now it says, this is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever. Right? Why is that part so important? It says in the law that endureth forever. What does that let you know?
So like, sir, that lets you know that the Christian church hates God because they teach otherwise.
That's true. Young man.
That you always have to keep it, sir.
Yes, that you always have to keep it, right? You always have to keep the law. It says the law that endureth forever, which lets you know, once again, like the brother said, the Christian church does not know what they're talking about. The Christian church has never read this scripture right here. So if this scripture said that the law endures forever, that spells trouble for the Christian church. That means that means somebody's lying. And we all know the Bible ain't lying. The scripture said, let the word of God be the truth and let every man be a liar. I'm paraphrasing, but y'all get the point.
Right.
We just read it out the Bible. So your pastor telling you that the law is done away with, but yet we just read where the law endures forever. Let you know what? That your pastor is a false prophet. Your pastor is the Antichrist. You get my point? Anyone who teaches against the law, statutes, and commandments is the Antichrist. He is not your brother in spirit. He's your brother in flesh, but he's not your brother in spirit if he's telling you that you do not have to keep these laws, right? Now, how does this scripture fit into this breakdown? We're about to get it. We're going to go to the sister scripture. Give me John chapter 14 and verse 15.
I got it, sir.
Mm-hmm.
The book of John, chapter 14 and verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
If ye love me, keep my commandments.
Scripture, I mean, listen.
Verse 16.
No. So let me get there with you. Let me make sure. Let me see if I want 16. Give me 1 second, y'all. So let me see.
So like I said, I got 15 and 12, sir.
Please.
The book of John, chapter 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love had no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
So now the Most High asking, or is he telling us? So I didn't mean to step on you. In verse 12, is he asking us or is he telling us?
He's telling us, sir.
He's telling us. How do you know? How do you know that he's telling us? That's true. It's an order. That's another way to look at it as well. But how do you know that he's telling us? Biblically speaking, how do you know that the Most High is telling us and he's not asking us?
So like I said, if I could. He said it's a commandment.
That's it right there. That's it. He's not pleading with you. He's not saying, oh, if you would be so kind, or if you don't mind. No. He says, this is my commandment. I command you to do this. It's an order.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so the scripture says, if you love me, keep my commandments. That is love. So again, when the scriptures going back to the scripture, that's why the topic for this class is, what is love according to the Bible? The Bible says love not in word, but in deed, right? The Most High said, if you love me, keep my commandments, right? Why is all these things so important? Right. The reason why all these things are important is because the scripture says love not in word, but in deed. Keeping the law is a deed.
Right.
How do you know that keeping the law is a deed or an action? Somebody give me an example. How do you know that that's what love is by keeping his commandments? He wrote it in red. That's true. That's how you know it's Christ talking. And if it's in red, you know what I'm saying, you can go in and bet your life on it. You know what I'm saying? That's all the way real life right there. You get my point? Obedience is an action. That's what I was looking for. Obedience is an action. Keeping the law is an action. Why do I say that? If you stop smoking weed, that is an action.
Right.
You put the weed down. You put the pork down. You don't eat it anymore. That's an action. You stop buying it. You see what I'm saying? You stop being a prostitute. That's an action. You stop being a sodomite. That's an action. That's a big action, really. Because you went from taking rod to now you're going back to your natural order to giving rod.
Right.
Salakia. Y'all get my point. The bottom line is, okay, that's the thing, okay? Denying the flesh is an action. You get what I'm saying? And this is what you must do. It's an action. Keeping the law is an action. Every time you don't celebrate a holiday, that's an action. You see what I'm saying? You have to do it. That's what makes it an action. So again, going back to the whole love thing, right? You meet some chick on the internet and you tell her how much you love her and how special she is and all these other kind of things, right? But yet your actions say the complete opposite. And vice versa. Right? You sisters quick to tell these brothers out here that you love them. Right? Why? Because you seen that his pockets is deep. And your car payment is due. And your rent is due. And you tell him that you love him, you know what I'm saying? So that he can pay a couple of them bills for you. And then that's that. And you're gonna tease him and make him think that, you know what I'm saying, he's gonna get a shot of that thing, but in reality, you just playing him. That's not love. You see what I'm saying? That's lust. That's the lust of money. You get what I'm saying? That's not real love. You see what I'm saying? Real love is being mad at each other, but yet giving each other due benevolence. That's real love. You get what I'm saying? Real love is being there for your brother, even when you have an alt with that brother. It's being there for that brother. That's real love. You get what I'm saying? Real love requires sacrifice. Real love does not require emotions and feelings. You see what I'm saying? Let's get some more, man. Let me get Proverbs chapter 8.
So, like,
verse 36. Uh-huh.
I was gonna say, so like I said, if I could add what you were saying earlier, sir.
Please.
You know, I remember General Hyman breaking down, you know, what love is, and you know how you was already saying, like it's not an emotion.
Right.
He's saying that real love is suffering, and like, you know, the way you were breaking it down, like, you know what I mean, you wake up at any time, you know what I mean, your brother or you know, your brother, your sister needs you.
Yeah.
You know, you're not gonna turn them away. I mean,
right.
They suffering, you suffering with them. They you up. You know what I'm saying? So like you were saying, like you might slave graveyard shift, and then your rib, you know, she's gonna start work. You're gonna have to, you know, suffer it, go home, you know what I mean, pick her up, take her to work, you know, all tired and all that. A brother might, you might be getting ready to go to bed. A brother might hit you up like, man, I got a flat tire. You suffer it, you go, you know, help him out like that, sir. You know, that's how he was breaking it down. You know, you got to, love is suffering it.
Yes, of course, the general, as always, is correct. You know what I mean? And you bringing that back to memory and you dropping that right now, you know what I'm saying, is 1000% on point. You know what I'm saying? And right in line with this class. Because anyone who's been in this school for any amount of time, whether you are a brother or a sister, has gotten a call at some odd hour of the night, and you took that call and you helped that brother or that sister, even if it meant just sitting on the phone with that sister for 10, 15 minutes because she's going through whatever it is she's going through. You see what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure many of sisters have answered the phone in the middle of the night, some sister crying because for whatever reason, you know, it don't take much for sisters to start crying. You know what I'm saying? Her favorite soap opera character died, she crying. You get what I'm saying? One of them R&B niggas died, she crying. You get what I'm saying? They ran out of her favorite nail polish at the goddamn grocery store, she's crying. You get what I'm saying? They ran out of cotton balls, she's crying. You know what I'm saying? The female species is always looking for a reason to cry, but I digress. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna stall the sisters out like I always do. You get my point? But the bottom line is that sisters be going through it, and sisters will take that phone call. You get what I'm saying? Everybody in this school has gotten a phone call at some odd hour of the night, and they knock out. You get what I'm saying? They out cold. You get what I'm saying? And they answer that phone, and you know what I'm saying? It sounds like they dehydrated. Like they ain't drinking no water in 3-4 days. Lord Christ. It sound like a goddamn Gila monster or some shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Because the nigga sleep. And who knows what the hell time it is. You get my point? Hey, Shalom, you wiping the shit out your eyes. Lord Christ, what's going on? What's going on, sir? You don't even know where the hell you are. But you know that phone rang and and it's got to be something important. Otherwise, why the hell would a brother be calling you, you know what I'm saying, at that time of night? You get what I'm saying? We've all been through that. But we take that call out of love and we follow that order out of love. You know what I'm saying? When that sister had a hard day at the slavery, you had a hard day as well. But you'll listen to her complain about all her trifling ass, nasty ass, slut ass coworkers. And you suffer that. Even though you're trying to watch the game or watch some WWF, whatever the hell you got going on, you suffer that. Why? Out of love. You get what I'm saying? That's real love right there. You know what I mean? Enduring, suffering with one another. You get what I'm saying? Some of you sisters will get up sick and be sick and will still make sure that that brother got something to eat when he get home. You know what I'm saying? That's love right there. You get my point? Make sure that the brother's laundry is done and all these different things. Why? That's love. Even though you're sick as hell and you don't want to do it, you get up and you do it. Why? Because that's what love is. You get what I'm saying? Doing the things that you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that goes. All right. Where we at? Give me Proverbs 8:36.
Got it, sir.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 36.
Uh-huh.
But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul.
Uh-huh.
All they that hate me love death.
You see what I'm saying? So the reason why this scripture applies to this breakdown is because if you're sinning, you can't love the Most High. You love death instead.
Right.
How do you know that you love death? Because you're doing the complete opposite of what the Most High commanded us to do. You see what I'm saying? The Most High commanded us to love our neighbor as ourselves. You get what I'm saying? This is what the Lord commanded of us. This is what Christ said. We all claim to be followers of Christ until it's time to do what Christ said to do, or until it's time to do what Christ himself actually did. You see what I'm saying? This is what makes Christianity, this is one of the reasons why Christianity is a joke. Because you say you love God, you say you follow Christ, you say that you're a servant of Christ, you say that you're saved by the blood of Jesus, but yet you do nothing that man did. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're the reason why we're still in captivity in 2023. Those who claim to love God, but yet do nothing that God said to do. You're part of the problem. You understand? But I can tell you how I was shy because the ISUPK is the solution. You get what I'm saying? We are the medicine for those that are sick and full of Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Because Christianity is a disease. You get my point? And so we you know what I'm saying? So we are the antibodies, you know what I'm saying, for Christianity. We are the antibodies for Islam and Egyptology and all these fake religions out here. You know what I'm saying? All those different religions are the sickness or the sicknesses or the illness or the plagues. You know what I'm saying? And the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana is the cure. You know what I'm saying? We're like the COVID-19 vaccine. You get my point? And in the ISUPK, you know what I'm saying? We're all about love. You know what I mean? Do brothers always get along with one another? No, probably not. Do sisters always get along with each other? Probably not. Ain't no probably not to it. The sister that's married to a brother finding another sister feeling her man, that's when them claws come out. You know what I'm saying? And for time's sake, I don't even have time to get into it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not gonna be talking about that nigga, all he do is talk about us and blah, blah, blah. I ain't even gonna do that, man. But y'all get the point though. You get what I'm saying? That's not love, by the way. You get my point? But the thing about it is, in here is where you learn how to love thy neighbor as thyself. In here is how you learn how to not love the oppressor. Because as you start to learn these scriptures, you'll come to an understanding and a realization that you only have so much love to give. You understand what I'm saying? And if the more love you give to the oppressor, the less love you have to give to your people. And this is why when you go to the gas station, you know what I'm saying, the brother asks you for some change, you tell that nigga to get a job and he ain't shit. But you can go to a gas station in a white neighborhood and a white man can ask you for some change and you'll give him everything that's in your wallet. Why? Because you don't know how to love. If you're loving the oppressor, you don't know what real love is. Real love is about loving your brothers. Real love is about loving your sisters, even when they get on your goddamn nerves. You love them anyway.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Let's get some more. What we got? About 5 minutes left. Let me see. Let me see if I want this one next. Let's see something real quick. Let me check it out. Boom. Yeah, let me get this. We probably get into class on this, Commandant. Let me get Romans chapter 13 and verse 8. I had a few more. I don't think we got time, but I still got several more. I'll probably go one more after this, but this probably should sum it up right here. Let me get that, Commandant. Let me get Romans chapter 13 and verse 8, please.
Come on, sir. You 13 and 8, right, sir? The book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 8. So, like I said, you there? Jaime, can you hear me?
Con.
I think Officer Shabal went out. I'm gonna wait for him to come back. I mean, in the meantime, while Officer Shabal jumps back on, there's a precept in the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40. You know what I mean? And what Christ says, if you do it unto any of his least of his brethren, you are doing it unto him. So every time you show love to one of your own, you know what I mean, Blacks, Latino, Native Americans, you know, you were doing it for Christ. Because this is when Christ said, when I was in prison and you came to see me, I was in hunger, you fed me. I was you know, he needed clothes and you clothed him, you know, and you're gonna be when did I do this? You know what I mean? Every time you go visit, you know, we have a prison program. You go out there and you go for your brothers, like you doing that literally for Christ. You know, are you back on?
Yeah.
Oh,
Keep going though. That's heavy. No, keep going, Commandant. You good.
Yeah, sir. So you know what I mean? I was just saying how, you know, Christ said when in the king shall answer and say that, just paraphrasing that, if you do it to any of the least of his brethren, that you doing it unto him, like meaning if you love to your people, you doing it, literally doing it for Christ, and vice versa. If you disregard or you hate your people, and you show love, it's like you're not showing love to Christ and you hate him like that.
Right. No, and what you're saying is so heavy, because the thing about it is, this is what we have to understand. When we look out for one another, it's not about getting praise from that brother or getting praise from that sister. You know what I'm saying? We're doing the things that Christ commanded us to do because Christ led by example. You know what I'm saying? Christ came on this earth and gave us the blueprint on how we should live. You get what I'm saying? So if one of these brothers in this class, you know what I'm saying, was to ask me, you know what I'm saying, if they can hold a few dollars, if I got it, I'm gonna give it to them, because that's what Christ would do. And I don't need them brothers to make a post and blow me up and give me, you know what I'm saying, all these praises and all this shit because I looked out. That's what brothers are supposed to do for one another. Right. Because the same way I would do it for these brothers would do the same for me. That's brotherhood. That's love. You know what I'm saying? Being willing to give a brother your last, or being willing to give a sister your last. You get what I'm saying? Because that's what love does. And you don't do it being bitter about it, thinking like, man, that nigga better, if I gave him 20, that nigga better give me 100. Like, nah, that's not love. That's not brotherhood. You get what I'm saying? Right. You look out for men and women, and your Father in heaven will look out for you. So when you look out, don't be sitting back waiting for that for the return from that brother or that sister. It might, You see what I'm saying? But you're not doing it for that brother, for that sister. You're doing it for the Most High. You're doing it in the name of the Most High and in the name of Christ. This is why we do the things that we do. Everything that we do, you know what I'm saying, is driven by the motivation and the desire to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and follow our King and serve our King. This is why we do this. And if you're not doing it for those reasons, you're in the wrong business. There's plenty of fake Israelite groups out here, you know what I'm saying, that do everything that they do for personal profit. You get what I'm saying? They don't do it out the kindness of their own heart. They do it for recognition. They do it for praise. They do it for worship. There's a lot of things that we do in here that nobody knows about. Why? Because we don't do it so we can run and tell everybody that we did it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? We do it out of love. That's what love is. Love is about action. You understand? I ran over the time, so we're gonna end the class on this one actually. You get what I'm saying?
So, like I said, you still want me to read that precept?
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Okay, yeah, sir. It was Romans 13:8, right, sir?
Please.
The book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Owe no man anything but to love one another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law.
Has done what?
Fulfilled the law.
You see what I'm saying? Read that again. I'm gonna break it down real quick. We're gonna get up out of here. All right.
Come. Romans 13, verse 8. Owe no man anything but to love one another.
Mm-hmm.
For he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law.
You see what I'm saying? Actually, verse 9 actually breaks down verse 8. Go ahead and read that for me.
Come. Verse 9. For this thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness.
You can stop right there, because all those things that Paul is breaking down, these are all examples, you know what I'm saying, of loving your brother or loving your sister. You know what I'm saying? If you love your brother, when you see his wife, she gets a salute. Hey, Shalom, sis, how you doing? Good to see you. You get what I'm saying? When you see that, when you see that brother and you find out that he got a promotion out of slavery and he making more money and he was able to buy a house, you know what I'm saying? When you congratulate that brother, you congratulate that brother out of a pure spirit, not out of, man, this nigga think he the shit now because he moved into a house. Oh, that nigga got him a new car, so he think he the shit. You get what I'm saying? Oh, that nigga got him a new shield on his chain or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Watch when I'm gonna catch that nigga sitting, I'm gonna rob his dog ass. That's not the spirit that Christ gave us. That's not loving thy neighbor as thyself. You get what I'm saying? Oh, I'm gonna show that nigga. That nigga think he the man because he bought all this jewelry, he got this nice watch and all this. Okay, I'm gonna sleep with his wife. I'm gonna show that nigga he ain't shit. I'm gonna plot on his wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wait till his daughter turn 18 and I'm gonna have my way with her. You know what I'm saying? That's covetous. That's covetous, right? Covetousness, I believe is how you say that. But y'all get the point. You get what I'm saying? All these things go against brotherhood. All these things go against sisterhood. Because if you're speaking to a married woman outside of saluting her, you know what I'm saying? You don't love her. And when I say talking to her outside of saluting her, I don't mean asking her how she's doing or asking her how the kids is doing. There's nothing wrong with that. You're asking because you genuinely concerned. You actually care. You see what I'm saying? But when you get to saying stuff like, damn, sis, I see you've been hitting that gym. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I see you, man. That dress fitting on you, or whatever the case may be. That's not love.
Come.
You know what I'm saying? You're coveting another man's woman when you say stuff like that. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Come.
That again, love is about action. And that action is not trying to sleep with another man's woman. You get what I'm saying? And like the sister said, real love allows you to celebrate when your brother or sister does well. Why do you think when a brother gets raised up, it's so many likes and so many, hey, Most High in Christ, hey, congratulations, Doc, or congratulations, sir. Why? Because we're genuinely happy for that brother. When the sister sheds herself for the world and she sheds that whatever name she was known by in the world, and she gets that Hebrew name, the whole nation rejoices. Why? Because we're genuinely happy for her. You see what I'm saying? That's real love. You know what I mean? And the only place you can find that kind of love is in the ISUPK. You cannot find it in the Christian church. How do you know? Because everything that we were just talking about happens in that Christian church on a weekly basis. You know what I'm saying? Commodore, do you want to add anything before we close out the class?
La, sir.
All right, cool. Listen, man. Okay. Last minute or so, right? Again, I had a few more scriptures, but for time's sake, I won't get into them right now. I might, you know what I'm saying, go into it a little bit next week. But I'll definitely have a new topic for y'all next week, Lord allow. I see y'all, brothers and sisters. But again, understand this: these classes are not made to shame a brother or to shame a sister. These classes are put together to educate brothers, to educate sisters. Why? Because that's real love. Real love is telling a brother when he's wrong. Real love is telling the sister, "Hey, listen, hey, you shouldn't say that like that. You out of pocket for that. Don't do that." You know what I mean? And real love is a sister going to her husband, and even though that's her husband, you know what I'm saying, and he has authority over her. If she says that, "Hey, I was offended by what you said about what you did," if you truly love her, you say, "Damn, you know what? I didn't realize I did that or I said that. I apologize. If I offended you by what I said, I apologize." That's real love. You understand? The only place that you learn how to love one another, the only place that you learn how to love thy neighbor as thyself is in the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana. You understand me? With that, we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. You understand? This is the ISUPK Las Vegas scripture breakdown class, doing a multi-stream with my brothers out there in California. You know what I'm saying? Hollywood Israelites on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Again, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have classes, you know what I'm saying, from 7 to 9 p.m. Like, share, subscribe to all the channels, man. Anything ISUPK, man, like, share, and subscribe. You understand? Again, slacking y'all for running over the time, slacking for the technical issues. You know what I'm saying? Lord allow, I'll rock with y'all brothers and sisters next week. Commandant the Water, brother. Always good to see you, man. I appreciate you, young man. Jaime, man. Always good to see you, brother. I appreciate y'all's help. You know what I'm saying? Knocking this class down. The Water, all the sisters, you know what I'm saying, for the kind words. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Lord allow, I'll get with y'all next week. Commandant, young man Jaime, all the brothers, you know what I'm saying, is watching this class. Shalom. How about Shema Shabbat to the sisters, Shalom, Yahweh Shema, Alathan, by Shem Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, Israel. Lord allow, see y'all next week.